Good day, class. And today I just wanted to take some time to do a couple of things. Firstly, I would like to review the announcements on our Moodle page and then go over the PowerPoint for today's class on the topic of the presidency. As you can see from the screen, I have posted the midterm for the class, and the midterm will be due on July 26th at 11:59 p.m. The midterm consists of 13 multiple choice / true or false questions, 12 of them with 2 points, one with 1 point, for a total of 25 points. The quiz is 30 minutes long and will automatically shut off and submit once it is completed. So please be in a good place with your internet connected and be ready to take the test when you do. I have also posted the reflection assignment for the class. The reflection assignment is worth 20 points. And for the reflection assignment, you can email it to me at dmonda01@manhattan.edu. The assignment is due on August the 9th. So if you're done anytime before that, feel free to email me and just put reflection assignment in the subject heading of the email. So for this assignment, you're to pick one topic from the 6 listed below, meaning one topic from either: does the threat of terrorism warrant the curtailment of civil liberties, or should government intervene in a capitalist economy, or should drug use be decriminalized, or should biotechnology be used to alter and enhance humans? Or you can choose from: is the decline of the traditional family a national crisis? Lastly, number 6 of the 6, does the news media have a liberal bias? So pick one topic from these 6 and you will write a 600-word essay whereby you will make an argument on why you support or oppose the issue highlighted in the topic. So for example, if you chose, does the threat of terrorism warrant the curtailment of civil liberties? State a position whether you think the threat of terrorism warrants a curtailment of civil liberties, or take a position on whether the threat of terrorism does not warrant a containment of civil liberties. And just make sure you make at least 3 points to support your position, whether you support whatever issue is in the theme that you picked, or whether you oppose it. And then make sure you email that to me before August the 9th. In terms of today's PowerPoint, I want to go over a few quick highlights here. I will be posting later in the week a PowerPoint on the Electoral College that goes into it in a bit more detail. And I've posted some hyperlinks on the announcements board previously in relation to the presidency. So just make a point to look through those as you work through your readings. So take a quick look at the PowerPoint. It generally compares to the early presidency era to the modern presidency, some of the similarities and differences. What are the requirements to be president? Those are stated in Article 2, Section 1 of our Constitution. You must be 35 and a natural born citizen. The path to the presidency is determined indirectly. In other words, people vote, but the final winner of the election is determined through the Electoral College. A candidate becomes president by winning a majority, which is 270 of the 538 electoral college votes. Each state gets a vote that is equal to the number of congressional districts plus 2 senators. The actual presidential election is January 6th, not just the first Tuesday in November. However, tradition has been that we usually have our elections the first Tuesday in November. So, for example, this year, our election will be on the first Tuesday of November in 2020. Advantages to the Electoral College: it limits national fragmentation by maintaining a two-party system, prevents racial, regional, or economic parties from forming because it's based on a national constituency. So it's harder to have racial, regional, or economic parties try to dominate the political process. Anyone trying to run for the presidency has to consider all 50 states. Small states get the attention from candidates. We know not only from the candidate nomination process, but also in terms of campaigns, early campaigning, and also in terms of some of the debates small states are focused on. It reinforces federalism. In other words, because it focuses on all 50 states and the emphasis on the winner of the Electoral College is not the popular vote, but the winner of the Electoral College is focused on the states. In other words, the person that wins the most states wins the election. It reinforces federalism. One other thing in relation to that point is that it reinforces federalism also because the position of the executive president, the president of the United States, is a federal position. So the president of the United States is president by virtue of the 50 states and not necessarily by virtue of the individual vote, which is why the Electoral College reinforces federalism because it focuses on the states within the framework of trying to elect the president. Disadvantage to federalism: a president could be elected by a minority of the voters, as happened in the case of Donald Trump. He won a minority of the popular vote, but still became president because he won a majority of the states. Only swing states get the attention of the candidates. Within our media cycle, these are the swing states or purple states. And please take a review of who the electors are and what is their involvement in the Electoral College process. We have some clips in terms of the Electoral College. Review those in terms of the electoral cycle. Think about how it has changed. There's a map there that shows the different Electoral College cycles, say between 2008 and 2004. The red states being the Republican states, the blue states being the states won by Democrats. This was one of the more lopsided elections of '84, where Mondale was wiped out in almost all the states. He only won one state. And thinking about the results from '92, Clinton versus the first Bush. I'd also like to review, in conclusion, some of the broad themes of the roles of the president. The president is chief executive. He enforces laws. He is commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He leads the nation's armed forces. He is head of state, performs ceremonial roles as a personal symbol of the nation. In other words, he brings all the 50 states together into the United States. He's a chief diplomat. So, for example, when the president of France, president of Nigeria, or president of Japan comes to the United States, he represents the United States and will speak with that foreign leader. He's also a chief legislator. In other words, he informs Congress about the condition of the country and recommends legislative measures. This could be in regards to healthcare. This could be in regards to the environment. This could be in regards to stimulus package. This could be in regards to gun control. It could be in regards to sanctions on a foreign country that's considered a threat to American interests. And he is a de facto political leader. So basically, unofficially, he leads the party ticket. So, for example, if you're thinking about Donald Trump, he is the head of the party in terms of the fact that he leads that party's ticket during the presidential election. In other words, he also has significant influence over the party and party-making process. He chooses a vice president. He tries to execute the party's platform. For example, Republican would be low taxes, strong on national defense, a hardline on immigration. Democrats would be more international cooperation in terms of foreign policy, would be more government involvement in regulating the economy through large government programs and projects and social programs. Democrats generally also, in terms of environment, more regulations and restrictions on corporate or private interests and bigger concern for the environment. Domestic powers of the president: enforces laws, treaties, court decisions, can convene Congress into special session. President also nominates heads of executive departments, for example, Department of Homeland Security, Department of State, Department of Justice. He nominates ambassadors and also federal court justices. So he'll nominate federal court justices, and those justices get confirmed by Congress, specifically the Senate in Congress will confirm presidential judicial appointments. His other domestic powers include the veto power, where the president can veto legislation. The president also grants reprieves and pardons. Recently, Trump was in the media for granting a pardon for Roger Stone. And in terms of foreign policy, he is the commander-in-chief. It gets deeply involved in terms of foreign policy issues. The war on terror in relation to 9/11 and the resultant issues that came out of that, and broader issues of national defense. Unofficial powers of the president to raise the rise of the rhetorical president, to rally the country, whether it's around a war effort or around a national goal. For example, President Kennedy was very famous for rallying the country around the goal to have a man on the moon before the Soviet Union and to develop American superiority in space. Also to soothe the country. For example, when you have some of the mass shootings, the president's office, the presidency is a way in which the country is brought together after certain devastating events. Some of the horrific mass shootings or major devastating events like 9/11. So I'm trying to keep this lecture short. Please feel free to review the rest of the lecture and PowerPoint, and feel free to email me should you have any questions. I'm also available if you want any one-on-one Zoom sessions. There's only 2 of us in this class, and I would be glad to support you in that way. Again, stay safe and well, and I look forward to speaking with you and communicating